I have a dry erase board, a list board on my refrigerator that has things I wrote in my head last March that needed to be done over the next couple of months, because I was thinking, oh, if I have it here, it's out of my head, it'll all get done. I don't think any of it got done, to be quite honest, and the list is still there. So it can go the other way too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel today. My name is Dax. This is Encrypted Angels Nursery. I do have Storybrooke with me, but more importantly, I do have a very, very special guest. She is a captain of my heart. She is a sweetheart of a person. I am fortunate and humbled to call her friend. You guys may know her as Crafty Churchy Nursery. We humbly call her Crafty Crunchy Nursery, or just Captain Crunchy. Please welcome my special guest, Jess, from,
Hi,
yes,
Crafty
uh,
Churchy Nursery. Now I'm
yes,
forgetting.
Crafty Churchy Nursery. Welcome, Jess. How are you today?
Thank you. I am good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Today we thought we would do a collaboration about a topic that I've heard about this topic myself a couple years ago for the first time, but I've only more recently done a deeper dive after a couple of weeks going through a really bad day, struggling with executive dysfunction. And when I was talking about this with Jess, she said that she would love to do a collaboration with me about this. So that is what we are doing today. So, yes, so we're doing a collaboration talking about executive dysfunction. Just to let everybody know, neither one of us are doctors or specialists or mental health people or anything of that sort. Uh, I'm autistic, and Jess, would you care to share how you identify as being neurodivergent, or do you just want to keep it as neurodivergent?
No, I have ADHD. I was just diagnosed at the end of last year, and I am also pursuing, exploring other diagnoses as well.
Gotcha, thank you. And could you tell me, when did you first learn about executive dysfunction?
Mm, within the last few months, really, like having a name for it. I mean,
Oh, I know. And just knowing that something like this has a name, it's made a very huge difference to me with just knowing what this is and that there is a name for it. How has it changed your life a little bit, with after knowing what this is?
um, it's some for me. I'm being a lot easier on myself, when I like I I realized that there was a reason that I couldn't return something on time, or there was a reason why I don't I don't open my mail for months, and just, you know, um finding out that was a thing, and that there are plenty of people that deal with this thing, has just been it's been really, like a weight lifted. Yes.
I can definitely understand that, and same. It's like, oh my gosh, I mean, just counting all the way back to childhood of all these times and things that, just other people didn't understand why I couldn't do the thing that everybody else seemed to be able to do, but I couldn't. They just didn't understand, it came with a lot of misunderstanding and maybe some name calling in the past, like people name calling me things like lazy or incompetent or things of that sort. So, which really is hurtful too. So it's nice to know that I'm not those. Not that I believe them, but it's nice to know that I'm not those things. Did you ever feel that way?
Oh, yeah, and now I'm pretty, I'm pretty passionate about getting rid of the lazy word, like, when it comes to when my friends say it, when my boss says it, when random people say it, like, you're not lazy. I mean, it's that if
And just to clarify, you mean like, do you mean are these people calling you lazy, or do you mean like they're calling themselves lazy?
calling themselves lazy, they're
Gotcha.
calling themselves lazy, and I'm like, "No, you mean because you didn't do anything for an hour after working all day and all week?" And, it's helped me to see that and to also try to make others see that, you know, I don't I mean, yes, sure, there is laziness, but not for most of the people that I talk to.
Right, right. And same. I agree. I agree 100%. Could you tell me about a time? I think we kind of already touched a little bit about this, but I didn't know if there was any other examples you wanted to give. Can you tell me about a time when you really, or when you were able to push through it, to be able to push through the executive dysfunction and be able to get the thing or things done on your agenda ahead of you?
Um, yeah, I would say, um, like, just on occasion, just saying, "Okay, let's go," you know? Um, but typically, if I'm really having a hard time, then I will tell myself, "Okay, I'll just do this for 10 minutes," whether it's I'll wash the dishes for 10 minutes or I'll sit down for 10 minutes, I'll say, "Okay, I'm gonna do this for 10 minutes." And then after 10 minutes, I will go do the thing that I didn't wanna do for just 10 minutes. And then I will go back and I increase it each time, so, like, 15 that I need to. Because honestly, by the 3rd time, maybe I'm not stopping till I'm done, which that's a problem also, but, um
Okay, so you mentioned that that can be a problem also. Can you explain a little bit more by that? Like when a person that experience struggles with executive dysfunction, what happens when we push ourselves to do it anyway? What happens to us? Or at least what happens to you in your experience?
um, uh, we're just, um, the results of whatever that I've been working on, whether it's something at work or something around the house, um, they just get worse and worse and worse. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna push through it. And no, um, that's when it's then like, so then I'll be cleaning the house. And so say I get through two timers worth, and now all of a sudden I am, okay, I'm gonna clean. I'm gonna get it all done. I'm gonna get it all done. I'm gonna get it all done. And then 4 hours later, I can't move because I just pushed myself. So,
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. Physically overdoing it, mentally, emotionally overdoing it. And I've noticed for me, I also sometimes will go into an emotional place. Like I'll get snappy, I'll get salty, I'll get spicy, I'll get argumentative. Um, I'll get tense, like I'm angry. There's no reason for me to be angry, but that's what I will feel an emotional level. Like it will take a toll on me emotionally in mood and behavior, even though I've spent years trying to control it. Um, and Oh, by the way, to my viewers, if you guys haven't noticed, Jess is holding a baby that we will be finding out the name at the end of this video. So please stay tuned in order to find out what this little gentleman's name is at the end. Oh, what a cutie pie. Oh, such a sweetheart.
I
So
lost the
cute.
hat in like an 8-inch space. I lost the hat, like ADHD right there.
There we go. There we go. So, and for those that don't, like, I'm autistic, she's ADHD, and executive dysfunction seems to affect people who are neurodivergent. I don't know about neurotypicals, but for some reason, this is something that seems to really affect neurodivergent individuals. And I thought it was really important to bring this topic up because it's something that many of us struggle with, that we may have been called things in the past that were not true, never was, and that that there is something really going on here. It's for reals. So back to you, Jess. um, oh, by the way, we are going to be discussing some videos that we both have viewed and watched and stuff. So anyway, but before we go there, I wanted to ask, what is your advice to others who struggle with executive dysfunction as well? With knowing what you know now, what would be your advice to others?
Really, what I do, I mean, I do this with my husband all the time. I do the timer thing because it's just that's my default because there's a set there is a set time limit. So I know that I can stop at 10 minutes after and I can do this. So that's just my other suggestion would be to get on social media and just start watching, reels and things because you could find some tips, or it's just helpful to see all the ways that you you knew that you just thought you were, a weirdo, or not a weirdo, but you just thought you were different. And then you get on social media and you're like, oh my God, they have the same experiences. What? There's people out there? No way. So sorry, I can't tell short stories. I'm sorry. If you watch my channel at all, you'll know that my videos are always long. So I'm sorry.
Not at all. It is fine. It is fine. I love having you on today. I love having you on my channel. So I love this. But yeah, and I love that we're discussing this to get this out to other people. All right, so we'll just go ahead and get into discussing some things. I took some notes about the videos that we watched, and I'm gonna start with um yeah, I wanted to start with this one. Uh the The name of the channel, I believe, is Woodshed Theory, by a lovely lady named Claire. In this video, she had green hair, although this video was a couple years old, but she had green hair. And the video title, I kind of laugh, is My Tips to Get Stuff Done, a different word than stuff. Um, and then it's like a backslash overcoming executive dysfunction. And so some of the things that I thought we would just kind of cover very basic, in a few short words, just how would you describe what executive function is, and how would you describe executive dysfunction?
Mm, I guess I see executive function as hmm, like paying your bills on time, probably being able to have a budget, um, um, just like not miss doctor's appointments constantly. That's what I think executive function is, and dysfunction is, you know, everything else. It's when your bill, you have the money, but your bills are 3 months behind because you haven't paid the bill. You have the money, you just didn't want to make that call. You didn't want to put that effort in. Not effort, I don't mean it like that, but you just you just didn't want to do it. That's dysfunction.
Right, exactly. It's the from how I am best understand it, I didn't look into exactly what they all are, I didn't write them down, but from what I understand, there's 8 different executive functions, and some of them include like prioritizing. I think one is like goal setting, I could be wrong, but it has to do with how you plan and organize your day, your week, or a project, or things of that sort, as well as making doctor appointments and not only making them, like scheduling them, but making it to them. So things of that sort. So it's rough. It's rough. I've missed several doctor appointments because of this. I actually missed a relative's wedding once because of it. That was really bad. Really bad. Later on, they got divorced, so now I don't feel nearly as bad. Sorry. They don't watch this. It's fine. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so in this video, she does talk about tips in order to help with executive dysfunction. And the first thing that she put down is list making. She makes out a list of, like, say if she's going to clean, she writes down each room, say the living room, kitchen, dining room, what have you, and then she'll write down a list of each thing that needs to be done in that room. What do you think about this with helping with executive dysfunction? Are lists something that you utilize? And if so, do they help or not a help?
Um, that was the part of her video that get um I like lists, but she was like a list for each. I mean, it makes perfect sense. It does, putting for each room and everything you need to do, but like I just shut down at that point. I'm like, nope, too much. But I was just telling my friends today, I have a lot I want to do this weekend. I want to write it all down. I did get a to-do list notepad from Amazon recently. Like, I want to write it all down so I know what it gets out of my head, but I don't I no longer I'm like one thing. Like, I just want it out of my head. I don't plan on doing it all. So lists, yes, I love lists.
Gotcha. So you think they are helpful to write lists, but you also don't put the pressure to get everything done.
Correct.
Gotcha. And
Correct.
we'll get to that one as well. We'll get to that in a little bit. Um, She also says there are no rules. And this reminded me of something that another one of our Dolly friends says all the time to me. Hello, Leisha, over at Binkies and Blinkies. And Leisha has told me and reminded me, really, or told me that to remember that you are in control of the schedule. The schedule does not control you. And so when this person, when Claire went over this point that there are no rules, this reminded me of that. And how do you feel about that? So it's like, on one hand, you're making lists in order to get things done and struggling with executive dysfunction. Do you feel like saying there are no rules is almost like going back and allowing to not do the thing that you know needs to get done? What do you think?
So it's funny, really funny that you ask because I do. I have a dry erase board, a list board on my refrigerator that has things I wrote in my head last March that needed to be done over the next couple of months because I was thinking, oh, if I have it here, it's out of my head, it'll all get done. I don't think any of it got done, to be quite honest, and the list is still there. So it can go the other way too.
Very, very true. Very true. It kind of also gives you, like, I've also found that it gives me permission to not have that pressure. Like, just because I wrote something down on the schedule to get this thing done, just if I don't get it done, it doesn't make me a terrible person for not getting that thing done. And then
Nor does it make you lazy.
right, exactly, exactly. It doesn't make me lazy. It doesn't make me a procrastinator. It doesn't make me incompetent. None of those things. It's, I, I sometimes have written down everything I've done that day
Yes.
just to look at, like, okay, I am
Yeah.
doing things, even though I didn't get these things done, I got all these things over here done. Do you do that?
Yep, yeah, I do. Whenever I'm starting to feel like some types of, and I will always tell people this because, and when I tell them about a list, they'll say something like, oh, to-do list, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, when I start to feel overwhelmed or whatever I'm feeling, I do start writing everything like got out of bed, brushed my teeth, went to the bathroom, took a shower, like everything down. And it's an I did it. And I don't write anything there until, I did it. But I'm filling the page up with columns. So that's, I think it really maybe helps someone to see that like you're doing a lot.
I agree. I so agree. I know it's helped me too to do that. And let's see. How do you feel about when she says it doesn't have to be perfect? And I remember this like mantra that I learned from, I believe it was like from Fly Lady, that it's something like doing something is better than doing nothing. It's just because I didn't clean it perfectly and Lysol it down or disinfect it or whatever, like even if all I did was just wipe it down with a damp cloth or whatever, that's better than not doing anything, like say a dirty countertop, for example. How do you feel about this? About doing something is better than doing nothing, even if
I
it's not
used to
perfect. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I used to have a magnet on my fridge, and Brian just cringes every time I say it, but I say finished is better than perfect because that, like, if I just try to go to, crazy lengths, then it's not going to get done, or like, let's just do what the minimum that we need to do to get whatever this project that we're working on is. So that's, yeah, that's how I feel as well. Like it's better to have done something than to have done nothing.
Alrighty. So Zoom shut down on us there for a moment, but we are back. And there's one more point I wanted to hit about this video in particular, before we go on to the next. And that is she mentions that she takes breaks when she needs to. And that is something that I have found. very, very useful for myself. What about you, Jess? Do you find it useful to take breaks when you need to, or are you able to take breaks when you need to?
Um, I've honestly just become a lot more mindful just in the last few months, even to tell myself to take breaks. I'm not. I mean, it really is a new thing. It's something that I'm starting to do, but really just within, yeah, that time frame.
Gotcha, gotcha. I can understand that too. It's like sometimes you can't always, depends on what the thing is that you're doing or what you're in the middle of, if you can or not. AKA those for that are working. So I remember what that was like, where it's like I need a break and I can't. So yes. And to bring up the second video that we watched and reviewed that I wanted to mention here is by Neurodivergent Magic, and the video is very similar to the other one. How to get stuff done. It's actually stuff though. How to get stuff done. ADHD Part One. Task initiation. That's what the video is called. And let's see. So the first thing that I wrote down that she mentions that she does is she sets a timer for 3 minutes and she writes down, she just kind of brainstorms, writes down everything in her thoughts, like all the thoughts that are jumbling around, she just writes them down. And she doesn't give them priority or anything like that. It's not like she's writing down the first thing that she needs to get done, and the second, she just writes everything down that's in her head without giving second thought about prioritizing at this stage. And what do you think about this, the brainstorming suggestion that she makes?
I always like to brain dump. I mean, you don't maybe necessarily know what's up there, so, you just start writing, and then because also, like, when I make my lists, they have to be alphabetical. So if I am trying to do this and alphabetize it at the same time, I'm going to go bonkers. So I'm gonna just throw it all down, and then I can alphabetize it as I put it into its whatever list, whatever priority or that it is.
It's interesting that you say that you'll alphabetize it. Um, I don't know this for sure, but I would think that a neurotypical person would like maybe jumble write everything down and then write down in a prioritizing way, like first thing that needs to get done, second thing that needs to get done, but you'll reorganize it in alphabetical. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Yeah, that's
Yeah. Mhm.
interesting. That's interesting. So I don't write it down in alphabetical, but I don't also have a prioritizing to it either. I do prefer writing things down in a list, especially if a particular task is really difficult for me right now, at that moment. I'll write down, okay, these are the steps I need to take. Step one, step two. And I just kind of write like these little, I can kind of almost, that's not going to show up. Like these little bullet points, like astrophy marks. Is that what they're called? Anyway, I just kind of write these little I don't write numbers or ABC or anything like that. I just kind of write down almost like bullet points. It's the way that I do it. Uh, so yeah, it's the brainstorming one does not work for me. If I was just to take a piece of paper and just write everything down, just like everything, just like blah, 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 that wouldn't work for me. Although I also don't try to prioritize it. I'll just write down everything in my head, but I'll write it down more like in a list form. And then I'll look at maybe trying to put some kind of prioritization to it, but I always mess up at that point. Like, and by mess up personally, I mean that like probably the last thing that needs to be done, I'll put that as the first thing that needs to be done. Do you do that as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just, and it, yeah. It, yeah, no, mhm.
Gotcha,
My
gotcha.
brain jumped ahead to something entirely different there. I'm sorry. I I need to cover my desk entirely because if my eyes roam, so when I look away, I'm writing notes because that's what I do during our call. So I'm looking to the right, but if I look anywhere other than at the notebook, I'm like, "Oh, shiny, what?" Okay, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. So it's all part of like that the experience of, autism and ADHD being neurodivergent in general. It's all part of the experience. In this video, she also mentions that best place to start it, the best place to start for you is the best place to start for you. And I like that she mentioned like the question is the answer in that way. And I just kind of wrote down a little note of what makes the most sense to you. I personally have had experience with that, where again, the thing that probably needed to get done first wasn't the thing that I worked on first. I worked on the thing that took the least amount of effort first for me. That was my
But you got
starting
it
point.
done.
I did. Yes. And I was just gonna see what's your experience with this, with like the best places to start is the best place to start for you is the best place to start for you.
So, you know, today might be I'm just the thing that takes the least amount of effort. That's my number one priority. But in 3 days from now, it could be the thing that actually really, really needs done. I'm actually going to put that at the top of the list. So it's that yeah, your best place to start is where you like if the bare minimum is all you can do, then that's what you do. That's where you start.
Right, right. And let's see. Another thing that she mentioned that I think is super important is emotional awareness. When you hear emotional awareness, what does that make you think of? Like, what do you consider emotional awareness is?
Um, well, just like knowing, well, okay, okay, awareness. I just being mindful and knowing how you're feeling or knowing like um okay, I'm starting to I'm starting to build pressure up, so I need to distract myself, as opposed to um just like lashing out and which you know, had been something I had done before, like, just I'd be getting off of meetings and I'd just cry because I just was I just shut down, and yeah, sorry. And I say sorry all the time, and I yell at people for saying sorry, like like I don't know why. I don't know why. Sorry.
It's okay. I've often heard that it's a trauma response. So that's what I've often heard. But I think that's for another discussion right there. Okay, so, and I do agree, emotional awareness, just being mindful of where you're at psychologically, emotionally, in your feelings, that those sort of things. And knowing like if you don't have the spoons for that day, for those that are familiar with the spoon theory, I'm not going to go over it now, but for those that are familiar with it, when you're out of spoons, you're out of spoons, and when you just can't anymore, you're just done. And that emotional that you're talking about, Jess, with the just like downright just crying afterwards, that's that emotional like I was talking about that earlier, that I will react very strongly emotionally when I sometimes do like push myself through that struggle, but I really don't want to. Like I have the emotional awareness of about me to know that I do not want to do this thing right now. But for whatever reason, I have to. And for those that are listening, we're not talking about like convincing ourselves to do something silly. I'm talking about taking a shower. I'm talking about going and brushing your teeth. I'm
Mhm.
talking about getting simple, what other people would consider simple day-to-day tasks.
Right.
And anything from simple day-to-day tasks to anything that is difficult to like work tasks, content creation tasks, things of that sort that are much more involved and jumbled. So it can be something as simple as brushing your teeth or something as complex as putting a book together, or something like that. Um,
Mhm.
all the above. So yes, emotional awareness is key importance. And then she also talked about stemming to go ahead and stem. Do you stem or do you know what your stems are?
So every now and then in my videos, you'll be able to see like here or here, the skin off of my lip is completely gone. So yeah, that's my big one. And then I also bite the inside of my cheek real bad. Those are the two that I am fully aware of. You?
Gotcha. I probably have one of the worst habit stems as you possibly can. I smoked for years, the cigarettes, smoked for years. I still vape. Actually, you can see my yellow vape in the background.
Mhm.
Um, don't do this, guys. Not, don't do that. It's very bad for your lungs to do it. I've tried many times to quit, but yeah, I'm just not there. But anyway, so I had one of the worst habits. There's other things like you, I think I was rocking earlier. So I'll rock. That's another big stem of mine. Uh, let's see. I did for a minute get in the habit of biting my nails. And now I don't necessarily bite on my nails, but I'll like put my fingers up to my mouth and it'll look like I am, but I'm just kind of lining my teeth along my nails. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not actually biting them. It's weird. Like
I
some
do
of the
that
things that I do.
to my gums sometimes with my knuckle. I'll do that.
And then when I was younger, I remember when I was a child, I don't know why I did this, but I used to pick all my eyelashes out of my eyes. I used to sit there and just pick my eyelashes out. I don't know why I did that, but that was a stem that I had when I was a young kid that my parents worked very hard to break me out of. Yeah. So yes, I've had very harmful stems and some not so harmful, like the rocking is fine. So the rocking's a healthy stem, I would say. Better than smoking cigarettes. Let's see. Another point that she brought up is acknowledging the mental pain you're about to go through. And I put
Yeah.
a laugh out. I just because I laughed when she I'm only laughing because of the truth in it.
Right?
And it's
Right? Like a light bulb went off. I was like, uh, yeah.
oh, please go on, talk about this light bulb. I would like to hear more.
Um, no, because then it just left my head because I was thinking about momentum.
Oh, okay.
No, no, no. I mean, like it's gone. Like
Right,
I'll
right,
when
right.
it comes back, I'll tell you
Sure.
what it was.
Sure, no problem. So yeah, acknowledging the mental pain that you're about to go through. Is this part of something that you do, or do you think it would be helpful in the future going forward to take a moment, be like, okay, this is gonna suck.
Oh yeah, when I don't know if that was 5 or 6 in the video, but I had never done that before. But I was like, hmm. and since I watched the video, that's kind of how I'm thinking of things today. Like, what's my mental health of this now versus, you know, so I haven't yet, but like it's something that I'm going to work to start doing.
Gotcha, gotcha. And the last thing that I wanted to mention that she talks about, and you talked about this a little bit earlier, I believe, when you were giving the best advice that you have for people. Uh, the la- I think this was the last one that she mentioned. She says, she even says she knows it sounds silly, but to take a deep breath, shout, one, two, three, go. And then you get up, you shake your body all out, you do a full body shake, and then you go and do the thing. And you had mentioned earlier when giving advice that this is a method that you have found or something similar to it that works for you. Is this, which I know you talked a little bit about this, but would you like to talk a little more or?
I think, yeah, that so like the 10-minute timer thing, but I think like I thought that was brilliant when she said that just because like it would I don't want to say adrenaline going, but you just hype yourself up before you do something. It's like, okay, then you've got to get that energy back out. So you might as well get that energy back out by doing the thing. That I don't know if that made any sense.
It does to me. It does to me to like
Okay.
get up and I often that's actually a suggestion I've also heard for being a content creator right before doing a video is to help get your energy up to do some exercising, just a little bit. I'm not saying like go on a full mile run. I mean, unless that's your thing, but just do like I don't know, just holding your hands up in the air. Like if you can do jumping jacks, I can't really do jumping jacks. But if you can do jumping jacks and do a couple of jumping jacks or do a couple running steps or like she said, shake your body all out and everything or something like that. And it's like I know I do that before videos to get my energy up so I could see how this could work for something like this. I haven't given it a try. I will have to admit, I haven't tried it yet since watching the video. But it is something I might try in the future going forward. And all I can say is that I can tell you guys the results of that once I get there, if it works for me or not. But and I think it sounds kind of similar to you too. It's like on one hand, you kind of do this sort of, but on the other hand, it sounds like going forward, it's something that you'd like to try as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love a good scream and a shake every now and again?
Well, when you put it that way. Awesome, awesome. All right, well, that brings me to the end of all of my notes that I have. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about regarding executive dysfunction before we get to your little one?
I just want, for the purposes of this call, to know that I started looking around for my notebook in panic. It's on my lap, in my hand, and I'm looking for it.
I've done that before. Mhm. I was looking for my
Uh,
glasses while they were on my face, and the worst thing is my roommate was also looking for my glasses
yeah.
while she looked at me, and I was telling her, "I can't find my glasses," and she's looking at me, she's like, "Oh my god, okay, I'll help you go find them." So I'm not sure which one was worse.
uh, okay. Um, what was the question?
Oh, if there's anything else you would like to share,
Oh
your
no.
own thoughts, or if you had questions, or just anything that you would like to, any kind of thoughts or things that you would like to share in addition to my crazy questions that I had for you.
Um, Oh, yes, there actually was one thing that I saw in another video, and it's something that I keep saying all the time when my husband asks me things: limit your options. So, and that is such a huge overwhelm. Like, you go to the grocery store, and after a certain point, you're like, I'm just done. I just want to be able to choose between like four things. I don't, it, so limit your options. And I'll say to my husband, I'm like, you can't just ask me, where do I want to eat? I need you to go, do you want to eat at Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, or McDonald's? Like, you have to just give me that thing. And so that is that's a huge thing that I would share is limit limit your options as much as you can.
Alrighty, so thank you for everybody who has made it this far into the video. We really appreciate you all so, so much. And as promised, our beautiful Jess is going to now do a name reveal for the newest little one in her nursery.
Yes, party people. So I did do his box opening video. He just came to me yesterday and I cried through like the whole thing. So if you follow me or you don't, you want to see me cry, you can go check it out once I'm done. But anyway, yes, this is Leaf Asleep from Bountiful Baby. And he came from Wawa's Angels Nursery, care of his little cousin Storybrooke, who is there's Storybrooke. Um, I think I covered it. I see, I'm telling you, look, I was like, oh, Storybrooke, and then I forgot where I was
Well,
going.
I don't think you did the name reveal. You told us
Oh,
the
oh, okay,
sculpt
okay.
name that
That's right.
we
Thank
both have the Leaf Asleep. Storybrooke is a
you.
Leaf Asleep as well. And so is this little one that Jess is holding is also a Leaf Asleep.
Look at his little face. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And so I put him in this outfit you definitely did not see while Dax was out of the room. And it is a white long sleeve shirt. And he's got little suspenders. But the important thing is his name, middle name to come, but his first name is Killian. Oh. So, hi, aunties and uncles and everybody else in the world.
Oh, well, hello, little Killian. So sweet. Aw, I love it. And I love that cute little outfit he's in. Oh my gosh. The little
Bow
bow
tie
tie. I know.
and suspenders.
It's so
Yes,
cute.
yeah. So,
I think Storybook's trying to give me her bunny. You're like, you take it. It's too heavy.
ooh. So say thank you to our cousin Storybrooke and Uncle Jack because we had fun talking too. Because Mommy likes to talk a whole heck of a lot.
Aw. Um, well, I wanted to thank you so, so much, Jess, for being a guest on my channel today and being willing and open to discuss your experiences of executive dysfunction and as well as talking about our thoughts together about these two lovely, uh, I believe they both identify as ladies. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. These two beautiful beings whose videos we reviewed and talked about. Yes, and their URLs will be in the description box below. So if you would like to watch those videos, you can check them out all on your very own if you would like. So thank you so much, Jess, for being here. Really appreciate it. Now we did mention, would you like to talk about where people can find you, your social media places, or anything else you would like to share where people can find you?
Um, yeah, what? My channel. Um, Oh, Dax, you like,
Your channel, your Instagram.
oh, why did you throw? I thought like you were, I thought we were just like chit chatting now.
Almost, we're almost there.
Yeah, my channel is Crafty Churchy Nursery and on YouTube and also on Instagram I'm Crafty Churchy Nursery. So hopefully that's not too many letters to remember. But yeah, that's if you want to come see more of this tomfoolery, that's where I'm at.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. I really, really super appreciate it. Mm.
Well,
1 second. I have to blow my nose too. I'm
oh my goodness. I'll just have to entertain the masses again. Do, 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 do. No fair. You can't hear my comedic gold right now. Oh, you'll hear it in the editing. I hope you're okay. Is he not the cutest? Maybe I shouldn't be showing him. Well, you can edit all of this out, Uncle Dax. Seriously, how do they lose one sock? Also, I lost the cap. So the this is Dapper Danny from Paradise Galleries. This is his outfit, but I lost the hat somewhere between my side of the bed and the end of the bed. Shh. Don't tell that. I crack myself up. I do.
just trying to stop the recording.